tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
It's such a peaceful sounding song, isn't it? So deceptively peaceful. It's interesting, I don't usually associate Christmas carols with murder, but I don't know if I can get past this one.
This does sound a little ominous to me.
Yeah, it really does.
It's been one of my favorites for a while, and now it's going to be like, oh,
he didn't have a gift, he brought a drum, he played for Jesus. Like, it was,
yeah.
Very clear
Hello,
story.
ladies and gentlemen, and all of you wonderful AfterBuzz fans, and welcome to the recap for the season finale. Wow.
We're gonna take it again.
Yeah, no. And take two. The mid-season finale of Arrow. We're covering season 4, episode 9, Dark Waters. And things occurred. With me tonight, I have the wonderful Steve Kaufmann.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I have a tendency of coming on the Arrow after show for the big ones.
Nice.
You kind of do.
Season premiere last year, season finale last year, mid-season finale this year.
And what's your Twitter?
I'm at Steve Kaufmann. You can find me Kaufmann.
The incredible Tauri Miller.
Hey guys, I'm Tauri J. Miller. I'm always here at Tauri J, Taurijay.
The incorrigible Lex Michael.
That is, in fact, my name and a fitting adjective. I am all over the internet-y talky stuff at the Lex Michael.
And I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me at Kiaxet. That's Kiaxet. We are also checking the hashtag ABTV Arrow and the live chat, which has quite a few people in it tonight. Hello, everyone. Ali Kona could not be with us this evening. You can tweet her your season's greetings at boysandbeauty01. So, what did we think of this episode?
Stuff happened.
Yeah.
Things occurred.
Yeah.
I just couldn't help but think this entire episode that Will Ferrell from Anchorman, like, well, that escalated quickly.
I mean, that really got out of hand.
Yeah.
Like, I killed a guy. Like, that's how I felt this whole way, because this entire season we all felt to be building to, like, we're finally going to get to Damien Darhk. Everyone's finally going to know about everybody else's secrets. He might actually propose. Like, all that stuff seemed to be building to right now.
Honestly, I think the pivotal moment of this season was him outing Damien Darhk in a press conference.
Yeah.
Saying, it's this guy, this is his name, this is what he looks like, we have a hotline, we need to stand together, because Damien Darhk can no longer go out in public. And that has been part of his thing, is being that good guy who talks with people and helps fund stuff, and that is a thing of the past now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, though, at the same time, he's just fearsome enough that I feel like even if he did go out and talk to people, like, he could still conduct business in the same way that he did. I think that outing him put him in a desperate situation, but at the same time, he's still in control.
Yeah, and especially what we do know about this plan. It seems to be the people he answers to, although I don't think he answers to anyone as much as he's consorted with that group.
This weird shadowy cabal.
Yeah, like they wanted him to stay private until he showed them results, and I don't think they care anymore.
Yeah. Now they're like, yes, corn plan. I like it.
Yes.
See, that Genesis, is that, aside from being a really great band, is that the first that we've heard of that this season?
It's the second. The first time was when the other member of his consortium came into town. Right before he killed her, she was like, how's Genesis going? And then he murdered the shit out of her.
Nailed it.
And there we go.
He meant Christmas, guys.
Yes.
That's what he meant.
He murdered
the Christmas out of her.
Who had 4 minutes? I had 7.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alexis. We're usually pretty good at this.
Yeah.
Steve, I blame you.
I'll take it. And I leveled up. See how that works?
So we start the episode with cleaning up the bay, which is something that Oliver has been explicitly told not to do and is therefore doing it anyway. Because he's Oliver.
Yeah.
And that particular little bit ends with drones hailing gunfire upon volunteers, which Felicity can somehow shut down remotely. We don't question that iPad anymore, do we?
No, magic iPad.
Yeah.
Not from Felicity.
Magic iPad.
The universe they're in has time travel. I'm good with magic iPad. I'll buy it. By the way, if the biggest buy in the episode is the iPad, I can skate past it.
That is true. That you're like, she's one of the smartest people there.
Oh, for me, the biggest buy in the episode is that she's dead.
Let's
Let's just address
think
that,
that's where
all
we're
right?
going,
That's
yeah.
the
Yeah,
pretty
elephant in
much.
the studio. Is that we close this episode.
Except the elephant on the couch.
Yes, there's a lovely elephant on the couch there,
So-
along with everyone's purses. Like, where's the elephant? You can't see it.
Yeah. He keeps talking about who's. It's really
Blending
weird.
in.
I see what you did.
Yeah.
I see what you did.
Tari, get out. You're done. Get out.
He done it.
Sorry,
Well,
I've been
Tari's
evicted from
True, he done it.
There
Done
can
my
only
job.
be one.
Flies through
Wow.
ceiling.
Yes.
Someone's going to gift that.
Oh, boy. I think the only reason that we haven't gotten the off-topic button yet is because it's Alexis and she encourages us.
Yep. You are correct.
So, we end this episode with a nice little montage set to the little drummer boy because, you know, we like to traumatize our audience about as much as the show does. And it cuts in between Dark entering a room with a Christmas tree and a little girl, and it looks like this might be his family? Question mark? Because
Yeah.
that little girl is super happy to see him, which is not a usual reaction upon meeting Damien Darhk, let's be real.
Yeah, it's either or who?
I think it's his family. Like, I would assume that's his actual family.
He's kind of like Harriet Jones. We know who you are. So, yeah, that probably is his actual
But that family must not watch TV.
Or they're not in Star City.
That too.
Or they accept him for who he is. I mean, he is a rich businessman as far as they know, and I mean, he has a lot of influence. There's no reason why they can't be like, yeah, Daddy's a powerful, successful guy.
Yeah. Who has Darth Vader powers?
Yeah.
It's all right.
Why not?
Sure, he uses them to levitate my dolls and make them dance for me. Doesn't every
Yeah.
dad
So
do
much
that?
fun.
It's so great.
It's a new normal.
So we're interspersing that with Oliver and Felicity riding home in their limo after Oliver has finally proposed. It took you long enough. That ship is sailing.
To be
Sorry, it's funny.
to be fair, I'm pretty sure we all saw this coming when he did propose.
Well, the moment
'Cause
he
that's
pulled
too
her,
final.
the moment he pulled her up in front of everybody, I went, "Oh, something real bad's gonna happen to her."
Yep. Well, because
Yeah.
there's too much finality to that. Because when they drove off into the sunset, so to speak, at the end of last season, I was very clear on if the series were over, that's how it would end.
Yeah.
Right.
That they just drive out in the sunset, Star City will be good, and then they'll be good and happy.
Right.
But the show has to continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I still don't buy that she's dead, though. It's oddly
No.
enough, you can survive a hail of gunfire. And we had the very awful, like, bleeding from the mouth thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Felicity's kind of become a bullet pincushion, which is not a good lot in life. And for some reason, Oliver and this is what got me. It was just their limo driving. They didn't have a security detail. They didn't have a police escort. They didn't have anything. After all of the talk about we're still going to have these events, but we're getting increased security. Like,
Yeah.
nothing.
Does anybody else think that's part of a secret plan we'll find out about later?
Someone on Twitter sure does.
Yeah, like,
We had this, where did it go? From Master Keith, who agrees with me and thinks Oliver will fake Felicity's death while he has her in a secret location.
How would that plan work then? At what point she goes to the hospital, they save her life because they tried to kill her? Like,
that's what we need to
how deep does the plan go?
Well, let's...
Hashtag frog water.
Frog water.
I mean...
Yeah, I want more frog water.
Well, I want less frog water myself.
I want more.
Yeah,
I want it
no,
all
I'm
over the
with
place.
you.
But what I do want is
Every day.
a well-laid plan.
Yes.
That Damien Darhk still thinks I'm just a mayoral candidate who's just rather clever, and not the Green Arrow. So if I just decrease my security a little bit, he's probably going to come after me at my soft target, which I'll present as you, because I'll I'll get engaged to you right in front of everybody. And then I'm going to go with a limited security detail. They're going to mow down the limo.
That poor driver, though.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. You're posed.
They're actually going to kill our driver.
I feel
That
like
might be
that
part of the
would
plan.
not have been. I don't know.
But then he protected her enough, and the van or the limo was protected enough that I think that is all part of his plan to then make a daring escape, because he's Oliver Queen and he's capable of making a daring escape, and then fake her death legitimately. That people will find him there with her laying there dead.
Well, I feel like you give Oliver not too much credit, but that's a lot of steps that need to happen in order for this to be a thing. And also,
That
it's
is
not
a
just
Xanatos
Felicity
gambit.
that
Well, no, I'm going like I'm.
yeah.
The
He's
plan.
hearing out both sides.
I mean, because essentially, it's not just Felicity who is in danger. It's also Diggle. It's also Thea. So, like, if for that to be an actual plan, he would have to have had all of them in that one location, been like, yeah, everyone's dead. Everyone I love is dead.
Well, and not for nothing, it's a plan that if Oliver would have put this in motion, it's a plan that would necessitate Felicity being shot.
Yeah.
I don't know that I buy that he would put a plan into motion that hinges on Felicity being shot.
It actually hinges on her not being shot fatally.
Exactly.
And that is,
Right.
this is, again, where we hit Xanatos gambit levels, where you have to plan on the coin landing on heads, even though there is zero guarantee.
Well, I
So
think
I
it's
can
hinging on-
see him pulling a plan together after this to maybe kind of get her out of harm's way while she's recovering, but still have her be the tech support. But I don't think that this much was planned. From her surprise at being pulled up there, from these things being spontaneous, and I don't think he would have sacrificed the driver.
I don't
Because
either.
there
Yeah.
was a lot going on earlier about, he went after volunteers, he went after civilians, that is crossing a line. Like, that's what pushed him over into outing Dark publicly.
Hashtag the driver ain't dead.
He only meant those civilians.
Sorry, Bob, you're hosed.
But to explore this theory that I'm now rethinking.
Tell us more about your Xanatos gambit.
I know, but it would rely actually on her not being shot, and then for her to being able to fake it in that daring escape.
But the thing
Right.
is, and this is kind of hinging on predictions territory, which we got to super early.
I mean, this episode.
Yeah, we have a preview for next
Time.
month, which I was not actually expecting to get. And it has the whole, rushing her into the hospital, and she's flatlining, and Oliver in front of the grave, and it's my responsibility to finish this. I'm gonna kill him, and she's not dead.
No.
And were you the one that said it was baiting? What was the term?
Intentional misdirection?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was
intentionally,
it.
yeah.
Was that you?
That might have been me.
I'm usually those.
One of you incredibly intelligent gentlemen said that.
That sounds like something I might say, right?
Yeah, totally.
Sure.
Super Lexi.
Somebody said it, and we all.
Went,
Somebody said it, and we all jumped on board so quick.
Yeah.
And I think we all feel like we said it.
Right.
But also that one shot of the funeral, or really Oliver at a grave.
Yeah.
Everyone and their mother would come to Felicity's funeral.
Well, you have the nice dramatic shots after everyone's left
I
the
know.
funeral, and it's just, leave me here alone.
Right.
But there weren't any chairs.
And there
it
was
could be
so
the driver.
much, and there
I think
was
it's
so
the driver.
much baiting, honestly, because they're gonna die, we have the gas chamber, which we Godwined right in the middle of this episode. That was fun, but it was too heavily baited. It was, she's gonna die. Well, she's not gonna die. Well, now she's actually dead. And here's a very dramatic trailer to prove it. No, guys, she's fine.
Yeah.
And I don't-
Yeah.
She's all right, guys.
We've also talked about both on mic and off mic that's a character who you don't have anybody else that they've set up to replace that role, to play that part in the team dynamic. And we talked about maybe the closest is Curtis, but Curtis hasn't really been
in enough episodes,
right,
honestly.
a big functional enough part of the team so far for that to seem like that's where they would go.
Because usually if they're going to set him up to replace someone, they know that Oliver is the Arrow by that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they've very intentionally kept that information from Curtis to the point where it's kind of a running gag when he shows up. So they have not set up a replacement for Felicity in the same way they set up Thea to replace Roy when they took him off the series.
Right.
So Yeah, no, there's no one to fill in her role. She's not dead, you guys.
We're not buying it, Arrow.
To devil's advocate, though, I mean,
He
I feel
doesn't
like
need any advocates, Tauri. He does just fine on his own.
he's got some people on retainer. It's pretty good. I mean, though, I feel like since they don't have someone to replace her, it might be a really interesting arc to see them struggle through realizing just how important she was to the team. I mean, because she does a lot, and she's very undervalued, I'd say.
Yes.
So I think that would be a really interesting way to go. I mean, though I also don't believe that she's dead.
Right.
The only way I would believe it is if during that proposal she got something like a bullet or an arrow through the heart, and she died, and then someone took her pulse and was like, "She's dead, everyone."
I would make a joke
happen.
about this, but it's spoilers for a different show that aired this week, and that's not fair to people. You know what I'm talking about.
While we're on
it was last week's episode, actually.
While we're on this topic, at Vern's Views tweeted at me. He said, #magic tattoo brings her back.
Interesting.
I feel like the magic tattoo is going to play into the island flashback.
All of her.
There has been some talk about that's coming up in one of the first episodes when the show comes back, that plays some role in something or other.
I don't know that it's going to play into the flashbacks. I would actually bet on it playing into this season.
Okay.
Because this is our first out-and-out magical season. And that is very much a magical tattoo. Thank you, Constantine.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I do agree, Tauri, that, because we don't have anybody, if again, and none of us think Felicity's dead, but if Felicity were to die, not having somebody there to replace her role in the dynamic would absolutely give it more weight. It certainly takes away from it, I think, a little bit. If, that's sad, we got another one. It's fine. It's good. We got you. But moot point. Not dead.
I think we've had enough playing with the dynamic this season already, because we had Oliver and Diggle not trusting each other for 4 episodes?
Yeah.
5-ish?
Lots of episodes. So
we've had some angst towards him.
We've had enough messing with the team dynamic for that to be a fresh plot point.
Right.
So we don't really need to rehash this.
Also, he didn't always have Felicity.
No, he didn't.
The majority of season 1, he didn't have Felicity. I forget when she came.
About less than halfway through.
Okay.
Like, she figured it out super quickly, and even then, he was still bringing a bullet-riddled laptop and a syringe and whatnot to her. Like, okay, buddy. Very okay. So, God, we've just gone all over the place.
I know, it's exciting.
But that's how you start, and then we got it all out, and we can just get back to the program.
So we have the Bay, we have Dark getting called out, so we wind up with a holiday party, which is very, very much a holiday party because Felicity is Jewish and we all want to be represented. And, thank you, show. I love that her mom had an ugly Hanukkah sweater.
Of course.
Did you guys get that it had, like, smiley and frowny face dreidels on the pockets?
Yeah, of course.
It was beautiful. It was a thing of wonder and beauty. Her mom also found the engagement ring in the Christmas lights, where it seems to have migrated from the bowl.
I guess they moved in a hurry?
I'm guessing that Oliver took it out of the bowl at one point when Felicity wasn't home. Was just like, I'm just going to put this somewhere that's not horrifically obvious.
But I would say it's almost guaranteed to be found there because the holidays are approaching, and presumably decorating is something, as we see, decorating is something they do. Yeah. So they'd be going through that stuff pretty soon.
But he's
Have
had a
you
lot on his
ever
plate.
pulled a string of lights out of a box? You leave the stuff in the box because the lights come out in a very large clump, like Christmas Vacation.
Oh, yeah.
So you're so focused on the lights, the rest of the box is just like, did we get them all? Yeah, whatever.
Put it away. Don't look.
So that really is a good place to hide them. In plain sight.
Yeah. And he's
Is that the thing you're not buying, everybody?
Oh no, the thing I'm not buying is still the Magic iPad.
Okay, all right.
I do enough tech support with Apple products to go, no.
Do we know it's an iPad? I don't think it's actually an iPad. Don't they have a Microsoft deal that it's actually a Surface?
A brand non-specific tablet.
Okay.
Yeah, Magic Tablet.
Because I remember the first
tablet.
2 seasons, they had a pretty big brand deal with the Surface Pro. That they were using Surface Pros all over the place. And as somebody who sold Surface Pros,
that Windows 8 was not worth it, so we...
they were running Linux on a Surface Pro. It was just weird.
So we have the whole proposal thing running through there, running through the setup, running through the holiday party, her figuring out through the best, most wonderful, innocuous line. I wrote it down. I have to find it, because it's Curtis and his husband talking about how they got married, how the proposal happened, and his husband makes a crack about you never would have found the ring if I put it in a dessert like straight people do.
Yeah.
And we're all howling laughing because the souffles, and Felicity just kind of, the souffles. Oh my God. Okay. But the straight people crack was beautiful.
That was very nice.
So
We do that though.
That is. They nailed us.
Classic us.
Jewelry winds up in food, and why would you do that? That's a dentist bill waiting to happen.
Yeah. Or a swallowed ring.
Or surgery.
Yeah, those are
Ugh.
expensive.
Yeah.
Well, and that'll tear up your everything with the stone. Anyway,
Can we spend like 20 minutes talking about
we
this?
talk about
been a very
super
different-
happy things on this podcast.
different show.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she essentially confronts Oliver, why wouldn't you propose to me now? And I love that we have the parallelism between Felicity and Laurel saying, I get to choose whether I need protection or not. You don't get to make that choice for me. Like, I love that we had that in this episode, and it was nice to see the writers working with that.
Yeah. I mean, we get a lot. We've had 4 seasons of Oliver being like, everything's my fault. And like, it's about time that someone told him that he can't have the whole world on his shoulders. Like, I know that he has a hero complex, but like, everyone, especially at this point, is capable of taking care of themselves in one way or another.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm glad that they're actually acknowledging that and pushing it forward.
And Laurel pointing out, you don't get to go to that place. You don't get to go to the woe is me, everything is my fault place.
Yeah.
Because evidently putting your hands over your eyes makes it that place.
Yeah, that's the move. That's the woe is me move.
What was me, guys?
Yeah. See, he's doing it.
I'm there.
Whoa!
I'm there.
It's uncanny. It's
Put your hands down.
I'm
Feeling
back.
better?
I'm back.
All right. Thank you for coming back from the place. And of course, Darhk crashes the holiday party and kidnaps people because he's Damien Darhk. It's like, oh, you got my favorite wine. Well, this isn't my scene, so I'll be leaving soon. Just, I'm going to take the people you love and then leave. So he leaves,
I find it funny he took Diggle.
plans.
After the rocky patch they've been having with Diggle and Queen have been having.
yeah.
But I think I almost felt like Diggle would have spoke up and they'd be like, hold up, I didn't even like this dude for like 4 weeks. Like,
Well, but we got over that rough patch
Yeah,
a
I
little
know.
while ago, so I can see why this happened. And Oliver does the whole wonderful, I'm going to trade myself for them thing. Like, sure, honey, okay, let's do this. Winds up in the facility, and Darhk makes this comment. You know who perfected the gas chamber? The Nazis.
Wouldn't be a holiday episode without a Nazi mention.
I mean,
Hey.
come on. All those Christmas songs were written around that time. Makes perfect sense.
Quite a few of them, actually. But yeah, it turns out that they're doing something with some form of gas tank with the algae that they were growing in the bay, which is why they wanted it untouched. They were making references to the bloom.
Yeah.
Later on, at the end, we kind of get the Council of Five or whoever the heck they are down there with Darhk, with breathable air down here, and there's corn growing, and now we're in phase 4, and I think we've finally gotten a glimpse of the meta plot for this episode, for this season.
Because that's what it was missing up till now.
Corn plan.
Corn plant. It was missing specifically the corn plant. But like, what's Hive doing? Why are they using the ghosts? And like, we finally got that. But like in that good storytelling way where they just throw you into the deep end and you're like, what?
Right.
We just didn't
Yeah.
have our ear to the ground beforehand. We needed to stalk them a little bit.
Dum-dum.
I regret nothing. And there goes
Get out.
Steve.
Bye, Steve.
Everybody get out. We're done. We're done. The show's ending now.
this
Get
side.
out. Get out. It's only Katie now. That's it. I have a show with just
Finish the
Katie.
show on my
out.
own, and it would be fantastic. Happy holidays.
Yep,
Not all
we're
your
done.
fault, Lexi.
My
Done.
heart.
Right.
He's
no.
Lex, I'm gonna give you a hug
He's
after
in
the
his
show.
whole area.
I went to the place.
If you guys aren't watching this on YouTube, the gestures this episode are beautiful.
I think this is my favorite one that you guys have done now.
because we're getting off topic and being
Yes.
dorks.
Ah, man.
So
Yeah.
Genesis and corn and gas chambers, and we go from, I'll let your people go to, I am not letting your people go. Here they are in the gas chamber. Please watch them die. And Damien makes 2 really good points. 1, bad guy.
Yes.
Which,
Fair.
duh, okay. 2, that having people gives Oliver something to fight for. And he believes that taking that away from him will stop Oliver from fighting. And this is a Damien who still presumably doesn't know that he's the Green Arrow.
I think he definitely doesn't know.
Yeah, he does,
Yeah.
especially now that he's seen them both in a room together.
Yeah. I mean, that is a season 1 tactic that we used, so if it ain't broke.
To be fair, that plan is the only plan of Oliver's that does seem to work to some extent every time.
Have a decoy. I love that they put the voice changer on Merlin, because it was Merlin that showed up in the Arrow costume with Laurel in her canary costume and using the canary cry to break the glass, which, yay!
Yeah.
I love
That was a
seeing
nice
that work.
use of it.
And, oh my god, Merlin was gold this episode. Ever since the crossover, I can't help but notice that he really does just appear in rooms. Like, yeah, he really does enter a room that way. All of the snide comments lets people know that he can't afford to pit the League against Hive. Which I think is an interesting development, because we had, last season, the League was it. Right. The League was the be-all and end-all. And we had mentions of Hive, and we had mentions of a few other things, but the League was this huge organization that you just could not be beaten. It was the thing.
Yeah.
And now it's, I can't afford to pit them against Hive.
Right.
What does Hive have?
I mean, I would imagine that
Corn.
the main...
A lot of corn. So really scary corn.
And you can't digest that stuff. It's terrible.
What did I just say? What did I just say?
Yeah, that one just popped up.
Stop it.
Oh, God.
Stop it.
All of
Did
the
it pop up
corny
just like
jokes.
corn?
Oh, the corny jokes. Yes, like popcorn. That was the
Ah.
pun. These are the jokes, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll be here all week.
Are we gonna?
I know.
Are we gonna come? Are we gonna play out to a corn song?
No,
great.
no, we are not.
None of them are.
No,
Very
none
few
of
of
them
them
are.
are actual air safe.
Yep.
Back to what does Hive have that isn't corn? You were saying, Tauri.
Go.
I was just going to say that, like, I mean, you could imagine that a war between those two factions would end in nothing but insane amounts of bloodshed, and to just, because it would essentially be two people throwing waves and waves of disposable soldiers at one another. So, like, everyone who's in between those two giant unstoppable forces would just be annihilated. So I imagine that he doesn't want to risk that just for a personal vendetta.
It would also bring them a lot of attention they don't want.
True.
Public attention.
Right.
And he did make the point that Damien Darhk is messing with forces I don't understand, and may well be one of the things that actually scares me. So it's, at this point, I'm actually kind of tired of hearing about how scared of Damien Darhk people are.
Yeah.
Just like, he's scary, leave him alone. He's scary, don't touch him. I'm British and I smoke, stay away from Damien Darhk. We've built him up. We know he's scary. We know he just comes back from the dead because he can.
But they're doing a great job this entire season of midway through. Midway through, we just now know he has a plan. You don't understand it.
Yeah.
And he's effectively immortal.
I'm just tired of the I'm afraid of Damien Darhk lip service. Like, we
you're-
got that,
that
we
we
got
got
that, we get it, he's terrifying, move on.
But now we
Yeah.
see it. Because
Yes.
for a long time, we
Yes.
didn't necessarily see it where it's like, well, you can stop arrows, but if he doesn't stop the arrows, do they kill him? If they blow him up, he falls over, but how long does he fall over?
Right.
Well,
he
like,
said
what's-
that little incantation, so that might have been it.
But it was amazing because you watch him blow up, for presumably blow up. They come back from commercial, he's completely fine. They don't mention it. He's just good. He's just doing business.
Yeah, like
I
there
think
wasn't.
that's even better.
Yeah.
I liked that a lot, but within that moment, within that commercial, I was thinking like, so like they just have a new villain? We're just back in January and it's like Damien Darhk's boss? Like, is there just somebody
The
else?
Council of Five, I guess?
I
Tauri, what are your thoughts on the undying Damien Darhk?
I mean, for during that commercial break, I thought it was going to be something akin to the resurrection cycle we were just introduced to in the last like crossover. So I thought maybe that was going to be a thing, and that he says that incantation and then comes back in some other way or some other form or some other body, something to that effect. But like, I like that he can't die, at least easily. I mean, he's a mystic, so you'd assume maybe that incantation was a way of like shielding himself, or it transported him somewhere else, like something to that effect. But I love that. I mean, because all the previous bad guys, you knew you could essentially kill them with like a gun, for the most part, a gun or a series of arrows.
Yeah, Slade.
Well,
For a while.
right. But I mean, his whole thing was like he could heal a little faster, and he was a tank. But he was ultimately immortal. But we don't know the extent of this guy's mortality, which makes him even more terrifying.
Sure.
We're in the same situation as Merlin. We have no idea, and he scares us.
So what do you guys think his plan is?
So far, all we have is we have a whole lot of brainwashed people, including Andy, who is either still very stubbornly brainwashed, or I don't know what the deal with him is.
Yeah.
I think he's
We have-
post-traumatically brainwashed.
Yeah?
Like, I don't think he's actually brainwashed, but I think he knows nothing else. Like, the hold's not on him, but the work in his brain has been done.
Right.
There is a theory in the comments of our last episode, and I don't have them pulled up, so I don't know who said it, but I freaking love you. Who said that they're called ghosts because the people have died, and Damien's been using frog water to bring them back, and so they have the bloodlust, and so he can easily manipulate them after that, and then they're all dead people that came back from the very small version of the pit. This is utterly unconfirmed. I love it.
But or the bloom is him trying to recreate the frog water.
Could be, but so far it just seems to be an air scrubber.
Yeah. Well, and it seems to kill people in seconds, except for Oliver Queen's friends,
Right.
who last minutes.
Yeah, it's like
it
being
doesn't-
the one soldier that doesn't have a helmet on. You know they're going to be fine because they're the main character.
It doesn't
Right.
work on named characters.
That's
Exactly.
that's right. Also, but he also said my last test led us to that there's something with specifically Team Arrow that he got, because him putting them through the bloom, that was a test. That was a test. So he said that my last test led to this, and it was that place with the stuff that we don't talk about anymore because it would be punny.
Okay.
Ermagerd Kern.
Yes.
Darn it, Katie! No!
What do you expect?
No, I expected the same thing.
Between Nazis and corn, this episode has just been really interesting.
Yes.
Magic Nazi corn. That, by the way, is the plan. Magic Nazi corn.
Yes.
That's the name of my Metallica cover band.
I hope you hear that clapping.
we hear it.
and I love it, and I regret nothing.
I saw you guys at the Viper Room last week. You were great.
Can we talk a little bit about Oliver and Malcolm? Actually, aside from Malcolm coming in like a stealthy bat out of hell, he gives Oliver a phone. I cannot remember some form of encoded, encrypted
Satellite
phone
phone.
Yeah.
that the ghosts use to communicate, so he can get a hold of Damien Darhk and make his little deal. I love where'd you get the phone? I'm Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, that's your answer to everything, isn't it? How much longer are you going to be in the shower? I'm Ra's al Ghul. Another hour, gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
Tell me I'm wrong. That's his answer for just everything now. Because he can no longer be a public figure either. He's dead.
Yeah.
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 Dead.
And I forget that to the best of everyone's knowledge outside of Team Arrow, Malcolm Merlin is dead, because he's such a part of this series and he's around them all the time. And the only people we see interacting with Merlin are people that know that he didn't die or that he died, came back.
Or people that he's
didn't-
actively killing.
Right. So to see the way, like, for example, Lance reacted in this episode, I went, oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Lance
had
just thought he was
forgotten that
dead.
Lance didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was one of the... That was...
I forgot briefly, and then I remembered, like, oh, they don't tell Lance anything in this show.
No.
Lance is the last to know.
I feel bad
all the
for him.
time.
When he also, like, he didn't get taken with all the other series regulars to be put in the little gas box.
Well, because Oliver doesn't like, or he doesn't like Oliver.
I know.
Well,
Yeah.
and Damien has the...
Yeah.
You know, and we had Lance questioning whether or not he made the right decision in not going after Damien after the party and not trying to out him and not... And then he basically throws away his position with Damien towards the end of this episode when he comes in and brings the police in as kind of the cavalry here. Mm-hmm. Because when you're fighting a whole lot of brainwashed people who have volunteered to go to a gas chamber but are still very capable of combat. Hive is weird, guys.
Yeah.
That was real weird.
Mindless fighting soldier. They're as much drones as that drone was, essentially. You point them in a direction and they murder.
Magic tablet, those people.
Magic tablet can take them down.
Yeah.
Magic tablet people.
That'd be
And
great.
then I absolutely loved Merlin in the Green Arrow outfit. That just made me ridiculously happy. He looks so uncomfortable in it.
But still fabulous.
Oh,
Yes.
Because it's Barrowman.
he could wear a burlap sack and make it look amazing, and I would not be surprised if he already has at some point.
Yes.
You say that like you've seen pictures.
I don't know what you mean. I have sources.
Share.
And that's just the Alexis sound. That's the Alexis soundboard.
Yeah, she's not even in the booth.
I just somebody else is filling in for her. They just have the soundboard.
Just the yes.
And they heard Barrowman, like, I got this.
But yeah, I think we got just about everything, aside from the flashbacks, which were an extremely slow burn tonight.
Yeah, I got a little bit frustrated every time they cut back to the island.
Because here's 30 seconds. Here's 30 seconds. Can I just get like a 5-minute chunk in the middle of an episode to knock this out?
Do we think within the mythos of this show, the flashbacks usually have something to do with what Oliver learned in and how it helps him in the present day? But that gets old, and you can't do that every time. You can't always go to that well. But do we think they're building up very slowly to a piece of knowledge that he learned on the island that we're going to know in 5 weeks, 6 weeks?
I would hope, because otherwise what are we doing?
Yeah, I think this episode, as far as flashbacks go, was just a burn episode. We didn't really have anything for parallelism, so we're just gonna go. Whatever we found on the island, I think is going to be, it's gonna have to do with Damien.
Yeah.
Whether it's that statue that we saw him bleeding in front of a few episodes ago, or I don't know, something.
Or the magic tattoo. Like, the magic tattoo so far has been the only thing in the flashbacks that can immediately help us in the present.
Well, the Staff of Horus, but that was
we got the Staff of Horus.
I would say, for me, biggest disappointment of the episode, perhaps biggest disappointment of the season so far, is that we didn't see Oliver fight the shark.
Thank you.
I wanted to see Oliver fight the shark.
Well, maybe
This isn't the asylum.
But, like, you're right. Like, you see a shark go after him.
Yeah.
And then he just washes up onto the shore.
I got
I
away.
completely missed that a shark went after him in the previous. That's how much attention I was paying to the flashback.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he got the map. That's the important part.
As an editing exercise, once we're done 5 seasons, I want to edit together a season that's just the flashbacks and then a season that's just the present day.
Interesting.
I want to watch that.
I'm hoping that the parallel to the present in the flashbacks is that by the end of the season, the shark comes back, looking for revenge. Yeah,
and it's King Shark.
This is the greatest.
He is the
show.
alternate version of, well, no, because in Earth 2, Oliver's dead and his dad's the Arrow.
Yeah,
That's true.
So it's the alternate version of whatever shark bit his dad.
I smell your blood.
I'm assuming the exact same things happened to his dad that happened to Oliver, because why not?
Sure. Yeah,
Or
totally.
3. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's roll with that. So yes, evidently Oliver gets bitten by a shark,
Because why not?
and also uses the girl's deep sea diving techniques to go to the ship that had the Mirakuru on it and get maps, and then Conklin
Yeah.
shows up, is like, oh, well, I knew you were lying about things and you're not super dead, and oh, well, I'm gonna beat it out of you. I'm just like, am I wrong in thinking that he was dead?
Watch out, Oliver.
Shark. Shark's coming.
Oliver, you hear that, Oliver? He's
It's coming, Ollie. Swim faster.
Swim, Oliver! Swim.
Get it!
Get out of the water!
You can do it!
Get out of the water!
He's probably.
He's gonna need a bigger boat.
Big and Tauri, you took the line I was gonna say.
It sunk!
Oh.
So yeah, and actually, evidently, people actually do not taste good to sharks, which is why you very rarely ever hear about a shark straight up eating someone. They usually think, oh, they look from the bottom and see a surfboard and a person. They're like, oh, it's a seal. Oh, this is good eating. Oh my God, what did I just
What is that? What is that? That's gross. That's gross. Ew. Get it out of my mouth.
Nope. It's like
we're just-
when you think you have a chocolate truffle and it really has like nougat or something inside. You're like, it's gonna be good. I regret my life choices.
Yes, but
Or
in the
that
opposite.
fake marshmallow fluff.
I agree with you, fake marshmallow.
Yeah.
I'm actually the opposite, where I would prefer nougat to.
Two sharks, we are
truffle.
the fake marshmallow fluff
We
of the animal
are!
kingdom. I'm really glad that we got to this place, guys.
There's a lot of revelations in this podcast.
It took a while.
We
but
are the
finally.
fake marshmallow fluff of the animal kingdom. I think that's the quote of the night, aside from maybe magic Nazi corn.
Hashtag magic Nazi corn.
Can we make that up?
I think that's this season's hashtag. Last season was frogwater. This season is magic Nazi corn.
Hashtag magic nonsense. I'm tweeting that right now.
Yeah.
This is what happens when Ali Kona's not here. We just all kind of go a little crazy.
But it's the best kind of cereal, no?
Magic
what?
Nazi
Nazi
corn?
It's for,
Got
you know,
little
Magic Nazi corn.
little
better when you're
marshmallows.
blonde and your blue eyes.
March
Hey.
right onto it.
Part of this balanced murderous breakfast. It shows the bowl levitating and then an arrow flies by and stops right in front of it. What? Oh God, someone make this commercial. Magic Nazi corn box.
I'm gonna have time next week. Somebody send me the graphics.
Yeah.
Oh my God, here we go. Here we go, you guys.
All right. Cool.
Is there anything that we didn't cover that we'd like to talk about? Anyone's favorite lines or favorite moments, or just something that needs to come up that didn't make it into my notes somehow? I'm gonna take that as well. I do have written down, "Let them go. I will existentially."
Yeah,
Yeah, that was fun.
That was great.
Thank you. Hashtag Magic Nazi Corn, says our monitor.
Nice. I hear you have news and gossip.
I do have news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
What I don't have is pictures, so this is going to be a very abbreviated section. One, I have been tweeted that the new Ninja Turtles trailer is out, in which the only thing we have is that Stephen Amell is playing Casey Jones. I will not be going to see the movie because I refuse to put myself through another Bay feature after I lived through Transformers Age of Extinction. But if you guys do see the movie, let me know how this interpretation of Casey is. I am.
Yeah.
That's literally the only thing I'm interested in.
In the trailer, he looks like he's having fun.
Good.
Yeah. Although I will say now, after the Batman Superman trailer, the recent one, I watched that trailer and I just saw 4 green Doomsdays hopping around. It was very unsettling.
Thank you, Lex.
Like,
Thank you so much for bringing that up.
that
That is
freaked me out a little
exactly
bit.
what I thought. I was just like, why is there so many Doomsdays running around in this movie?
You're talking to someone who forgot that Lex Luthor was in that movie, and so I thought that was the Riddler when he came up and started talking. I was like, oh, it's Edward Nygma. Oh my God, it's Lex Luthor. What happened? Anyway, so that's out. And then the other piece of gossip I want to talk about is that Stephen Amell has claimed that his version of Arrow can beat Batman in a fight. Discuss.
Hashtag nerd fights.
Hashtag nerd.
That's a whole
Guys, that's
episode.
Screen Junkies.
Okay.
Wrong network.
Nope. Honey Bunch is a nope. Nope.
I think it can.
I'm just gonna.
Here's the thing.
Geek
I'm
fights?
actually interested in Arrow, and I don't really care about the current film version of Batman, so winner. He wins that round as
I
far as
think-
audience interest goes.
I think this current version of the Green Arrow can take down Lil Wayne in Gotham.
For sure.
Yeah.
A show I covered
Yeah.
here at AfterBuzz TV.
Nice plug. Nice plug.
Sweet.
I think he could also give good chase and fight to the Sean Pertwee version of Alfred.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are my two.
All right. I think that he could take Adam West. Yes. He couldn't take Christian Bale. He can't. He might be able to take Val Kilmer
Maybe.
or Michael Keaton, but not George Clooney.
What?
I feel like him and Clooney would be buddies pretty quick.
You were opposite. Okay.
Okay. All right. He can take. No, I stick with it.
I feel like Batfleck would pick up his Goodwill Hunting Oscar in one glove and his Argo Oscar in the other glove, and would just start knocking arrows out of the air.
Thank you.
So
Lex,
it's probably
you have
a
been
good
my
thing
favorite
that-
all day.
it's probably a good thing that Leonardo DiCaprio isn't playing Batman then. He'd be unarmed.
Ouch. Ouch, Katie.
But look at how
Dark from
much
all that
acting
shade.
he's doing in the Revenant trailer. Anyway,
I know.
so much acting.
Someone's gonna get hurt before he gets that Oscar.
Pretty much.
Like, he put his hand through a table in Tarantino. Help me
Django.
out.
Django
Thank
Unchained.
you.
Yeah. He wiped his own blood on another actress's face.
Yep, or Kerry Washington. That's all I'm going to say.
True story. Look it up. We are super off topic. So it's 3 against 1 at this point because I am firmly in the arrows corner, because look at all those exploding arrows, and look at Batman, who has finally figured out how to turn his head while wearing a cowl.
Hey!
Well, to be fair, we're talking about Batfleck. I think he can take Batfleck.
I don't know,
So
man.
that's all we have for news and gossip. We have a few things in the hashtag. Vern says Magic Nazi Corn brings out the dark in you.
Yeah.
Gillian Davila wants us to talk about Quentin and Donna.
They're very cute.
I'm not sure what there is to say aside from that was hysterical.
Yeah.
Well, and they,
Much needed levity.
and they both need each other. They both
They do.
and not needy, like needy, but like, but like they both could use each other. They're both of similar backgrounds and similar pain.
Yeah.
That
Sure.
they can help each other
Sure.
and have a healthy, normal, fulfilling relationship.
Right. They can relate.
Don't think Lance is going to make it to the end of the season, especially after his stand today.
Yep.
Like, you don't betray Damien Darhk and get away with it. Oliver is able to get away with it because Oliver may or may not have a Xanatos gambit going. We're just not sure. Lance, he doesn't have the level of plot armor as the guy the series is named after. Vicky T points out, what about the way Darhk looked at Alex, the campaign manager, all weirdly when he walked into the holiday party?
Yeah,
I
that
forgot
was
to-
weird too.
I wanted to have a prediction on him, but I haven't thought it all the way through. I think there's something up with him.
There's definitely something up with him.
Yeah. He's... Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I don't necessarily know that I think he's evil, but he definitely plays into the bigger picture of weirdness that is going on. Otherwise, I don't see why they needed another character, because this is already a pretty big cast. I don't think you'd introduce somebody just to be Thea's boyfriend.
/ just a good campaign manager. Like,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
not enough
Yeah.
for this show.
Yeah.
They brought him into the fold for some reason, and he's dating Thea, so he's either evil or he's gonna die. Let's be real. The only person who's gotten out of that trap is Roy, and he's off the series until they bring him back for an episode later on this series
Yep.
Right.
season.
I think 12 he comes back?
12. Yeah, something like that. So I think that's about all we've got for news and gossip.
All right.
And if that's all we have, we should move on to predictions. Eventually. There we go.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
I love that light show. Start us off, Steve.
I retract my theory that
The Xanatos Gambit.
I retract my Xanatos Gambit. You guys have talked me out of it.
Good.
I'm siding with the many people on Twitter. I think it's Magic Tattoo. Magic Tattoo brings her back from life, fakes her death, hides her somewhere until he can take down Damien Darhk. I think Damien Darhk has a big plan to kill Star City and then make it a more inhabitable place. And it's all a real estate scam? I don't like that anymore.
All
That's
really,
really
good.
small potatoes for a magic
It is.
dude.
I think it's...
It's like all of a sudden it became less Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins and more Lex Luthor in Donner Superman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I do think whatever Damien Darhk is up to, I think that campaign manager is on board.
Okay.
And I honestly think Oliver Queen fighting to become mayor and going through all these public hardships is part of it. Or at least it is now. That's what I got.
Okay.
Okay.
Tari?
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, kind of not to piggyback off of that too much, but I could see Alex being the one who set that drone, because they were saying how it's out of character for Dark to do. So I could see that being something to where he's like, yeah, you're going to challenge this guy. We're going to make it worth your while, because essentially that buys you poll points. I'm going to theorize on Dark's plan in that I think it's something similar to, and this is spoilers for the Kingsman movie, but I think it's something similar to the plan in that maybe these people who are all about this Genesis plan are like the rich elite, and they're like, we want to make a new world full of like just for us, and we're gonna get rid of all the poor lame people. And so he's gonna use this gas to kill everyone outside of his facility. Use his new magic Nazi corn palace to essentially regrow crops after his gas kills all living beings. So something to that effect. And then everyone's heads blows off.
Lex, what about you? Were you waiting for me to cue you, or did you just want to see where this would go?
I just wanted to see how far he was going to take it.
Like if you just let somebody ramble on, they might stumble across something, and he's
Give
like,
myself some popcorn.
It's like, look, if he's still going
Magic
at 1 in the
popcorn.
morning, I'm still here.
and it's like in season 5 in a flashback, he meets the Flash,
Yeah.
who takes him to Star
Lex,
City,
what do you
and that's
think?
how season 1 started.
Then they go to Ona.
What do I think? Shark. That's what I think. You know what? No, I'm going to double down. Damien Shark. There we go. That's the twist. That's the big reveal in the back half. Now Katie's going to the place.
Lex, get out. We're done. Katie, you're going to close the show. Everybody has to get out.
This isn't the asylum. It feels like an asylum, but this isn't the asylum. All right. For those of you who are missing this reference, the asylum is the studio that made Sharknado. They're also the people that make Z Nation, which is a super good show, and we recap that on Sundays.
Nice.
Nice plug. Nice
Sweet plug. Man,
It's
only had my
it's
charger.
It's evidently a good plug. So, oh my god, it's evidently
What is wrong with you?
Oh, the corny jokes. The corny
You know what? I'm
jokes.
just going to leave it on the wide. You're on your own. Out. Lex, out.
I think I see what the dynamic is without me and with Algona, and then what the dynamic is with me.
It's all your fault.
I'm sorry.
It's all your fault.
I think it's 4 of the same element.
Anyway,
That's what this is.
It really is. It's a bunch of nerds. I don't think we have enough pieces of Genesis yet to really see where it's going. I mean, Magic Nazi Corn is a great hashtag, but it's a cornerstone, if nothing else. It's like trying to theorize for Blind Spot. We just don't have enough of the pieces to see where it's going yet. What?
Cornerstone.
You thought I was kidding. I'm leaving on the line. We're done. It's been on the line for like 5 minutes. We're done.
That was unintentional, but I am
so
super proud of myself. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think Felicity's dead. I don't think we're gonna have any magic or any sort to save her either, because you can pull through stuff like that sometimes. It just depends. I think she'll pull through. I think she'll be out of commission for a while because bullet pincushion, these things do occur and they're not good. We'll just have to see what happens, because we also got the little sound clip of Oliver going, "Yep, I'm gonna kill him." And that's going back on his vow, which he managed to keep against Slade. Again, he did kill Roz, didn't he? I don't know.
It got messy. Him and Roz got real messy.
Yeah.
I also, speaking of real messy, how do you kill Damien Darhk? We need to learn. We need to figure that out.
I think it needs to be like a sniper shot or something.
Well, the only thing we've seen hurt him is Thea.
Yeah.
Thea and the arrows when he wasn't consciously blocking them. Like,
Yes.
he was down.
But even that, he was whatever happened to him happened. Yeah, he was down and he got blown up, but then he bounced right back. Something was going on when he tried to zap Thea. Something was happening
It
to him
rebounded on
internally.
him.
Yeah.
So, and Thea said that she had not been feeling homicidal ever since then. So, Daddy, I think I'm cured. Like, bless you for saying it like that. That was amazing. I love that she just doesn't really care about Malcolm.
Yeah.
So that is predictions, and I think we are good to go. Where can the people find you?
People can find me right here, right now, but also on Twitter at Steve Kaufmann. That is KAUFMANN. I do a lot of shows here at AFTERBUZZ TV. I tweet about them regularly.
And I'm Tauri J. Miller. You can also find me on AFTERBUZZ TV, but also on Twitter at Tauri J. It's TAURIJAY.
This is nice. This grin is blinding me.
I am radio voice.
I am Lex Michael. I'm all over the socially thingers at the Lex Michael. I'm also on a bunch of shows here. You can find those by looking at my social thingers.
The social thingers.
Hashtag thingers.
I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at KiaXet. That's KIAXET. I'm also on Snapchat at Kia Prime. I'm on Ruby, which we're going to have another episode this year, you guys, before the calendar year closes out. I am on Z Nation on Sundays. We are getting close to the season finale, and if you're in LA the day that Star Wars premieres next Friday, I'm going to be at the giant lightsaber fight. So if anyone wants to find me and say hi, we're going to beat each other with plastic sticks.
Nice.
Downtown, I'll tell you later.
Please.
Yeah.
It's the thing on Facebook.
We'll
Find
share it
it's
on our
going to be
social
great.
media.
We'll share it on all the social medias. And of course, you can follow Alicona at BoysandBeauty01 on Twitter. Please review us on iTunes. We do read the reviews. We adore the heck out of you, and that is how we keep this show on the air. I'm going to break up the staring contest right now and say thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you on January 20th when we come back. Enjoy your holidays, everyone.
Yay!
Executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AFTERBUZZ TV staff. We would like to thank you for listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Corn you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.